with the course. No, I'm just kidding.
Charting, I tell you
what. Meet Sarah, a virtual course student.
So I work for the Green Bay Sewerage District, and I found out about U.S. Captain's Training through my coworker. She had recently completed the class a couple years prior to me, and then prior to that, she found out about the class from another colleague. So really, our company has been working with U.S. Captain's Training for a couple years now, and now one more colleague is actually enrolling in the class right now. So we have a long history of working with U.S. Captain's Training, and we think very highly of the program.
Well, that's great. That's great. And let's see. Why did you choose the virtual course?
There were a couple different options for U.S. Captain's Training that kind of appealed to myself as well as, my coworkers that have all taken the class and will take the class. I took the virtual class, though, because we were in the midst of COVID and doing something in person was not going to be an option for me just due to current restrictions. However, I found out once I enrolled in the class, regardless, that it definitely was the course for me, whether I wanted it to be the option or not. Like the virtual option was definitely going to allow me to do the training on a time frame that really worked with my schedule. I was doing class and working at the same time. So the virtual allowed me to join in at certain hours that really were going to be more beneficial for my schedule. I also really appreciated that I could take the class and have it spread out over a couple different weeks versus the other option would have been to take the class and do it all in 1 week. And I really think for me personally, being able to do it in segments over a longer time frame definitely was more just user friendly, knowing that I was going to be working at the same time.
Great, thank you. So overall, how did you like the class? The pace, the content, the instructor, the test, especially the final testing, being able to do that remote?
I really enjoyed the pace of the virtual class. I really liked that the instructor, it was a small class. So in my instance, it was myself and another student, and, it was 2-on-1 with the instructor. So that was great. We were able to really have a good dialect, good opportunity to ask in-depth questions, and the instructor could focus on maybe areas where we felt we needed more help. So that was great. The class moved, in my opinion, at a great pace. We kind of checked through the different segments only when we were ready. And I think that was really important is the class really is tailored to, they want you to succeed and they want you to know the material. I think that a huge benefit of having that virtual class with your instructor was making sure that you felt comfortable with the material, because at the end of the day, it's more than just passing a test. We wanted to make sure we knew this information. So that was great for us. The courses themselves, I had been warned that the charting was going to be challenging, or, the final exam was going to be scary, but I didn't have that, was not my experience. I felt completely prepared. I loved charting. I loved it. I struggled with it, and with my, with the other student and the instructor, we worked through it together. We got through what I call the groan zone, and we all felt really comfortable with it at the end. And I loved it. And, the final exam was nothing to worry about then, because I just felt like I knew the information.
Oh, that's great. Great. What was the single thing you liked most about the course?
I really think I liked that it felt like the course was tailored to me. Even though I know it wasn't, we were doing a very regimented schedule, but I really liked that it wasn't just going to be, it was going to be more than just like, you have 1 week to learn all this information and cram it down. That was not my experience at all. I really felt like I had to absorb and learn and, actually get a good feel for the material. So that was my experience with the class. I really enjoyed just the pace of it, and knowing that at the end of it, I didn't just pass a test. I actually learned information. The instructor gave really good tips about just other things that maybe aren't covered in, that you wouldn't think would be covered, just suggestions for materials you might want to have aboard as a captain. And I just felt like I got more out of it than just kind of learning the rules on the road.
Good, good. And what if there is something you'd like to see changed about the course? What would that be?
I did try to give this one some thought. I'm not necessarily sure I would offer anything as a change. I really liked the material. I really enjoyed how the class was set up. Um, I couldn't come up with something that would, because already for me, my experience was, my coworker took the class over a week, and I would have changed that. For me personally, it would have been great to do it the way I did it. And that's what I recommended to my other coworkers. So I have nothing. I unfortunately I am terrible at giving feedback there. I'm not sure I would change anything. I really like the way the class was.
No, that's fine. That's good to hear. So, and you answered this already a couple different ways, but I'll ask you just to see if we can
Sure.
get it in one segment. So, if you were speaking with someone about U.S. captains training that was looking to take a captain's course, right? What would you say to them about why they should take the course? Like, if you were to think about one or two key things, what would you say?
So if I were talking to someone who was going to take who was looking at getting their captain's license, I would recommend US captain's training for a couple different reasons. I really felt like the instructor wanted you to succeed, wanted you to, be comfortable navigating on the waterways and being comfortable in your vessel. So I felt like that was really important, and I appreciated just knowing that the instructor cared. I would recommend US Captain's Training because I think the material was presented in a way that allowed you to digest the information in segments. It wasn't all, you weren't expected to know it all at once. And then you were able to move through the sections at a pace that was comfortable for you. And, some of the stuff might have been a little bit easier and some might be more harder, but the pace of it really kind of, was going to be tailored to the student. And I think that that's really important because this is important stuff. And my final reason was, US Captain's Training was recommended to me. I have now recommended it to someone else. And I don't think nothing speaks more highly than when you continue to hear about this class and this program. And you can give that recommendation as well.
That's
Take the journey, trust the process.